All right. So we do have Test Alliance Please Ignore versus Literally Triggered. And Test Alliance Please Ignore has made a horrible mistake and has somehow found 10 pilots, where Literally Triggered has figured out that maybe 7 pilots was actually the right choice the entire time. So Test is bringing 3 Typhoon fleet issues, a Rook, a Magus, a Pontifex, 2 Deacons, and 2 Skybreakers. And Brett, what's Literally Triggered bringing?
Literally Triggered has brought 3 rapid heavy rattlesnakes, an Orthrus, 2 scalpels, and a hyena. So they have a huge amount of battleship DPS and not much else. So hopefully we're going to see them haze the test fleet typhoons and then laugh at everything else.
Yeah, just for the viewers' information, the rattlesnakes and fleet typhoons are all rapid heavy fit on both sides. So there will be lots and lots of damage for the first about 40 seconds here, and then they are going to hit that reload. So both teams are going to try and break straight through. Test's Rook is jamming the Orthrus and the Hyena. Not 100% sure on that call, but Test is destroying this literally triggered Orthrus, who's going down. Unfortunately, he's going down at about the same speed as the Typhoon fleet issue of Aaron, which is never a good thing.
Yeah, the reason they're shooting the Orthrus is the Orthrus applying damage to the Deacon, and the Deacons are like trying to stay alive. Unfortunately, it's only one Orthrus, so it's never going to break a Deacon anyway. So they shouldn't be bothered to shooting it. They should shoot some of the large ships and go for the battleship trade. They're already a battleship down, and it looks like they're probably going to lose this.
Somehow you weren't able to break an Orthrus with 3 rapid heavy typhoons, but they were able to blow up your typhoon. That's pretty cool. The hyena is going to go down, which again, interesting pick. I don't think that's what I personally would go for, because it's not like they're going after your small ships and the hyena is going to matter. But hey, you know what? You do you, Test Alliance. Looks like some damage and target painters are going out on the Orthrus. Looks like Test is also going after potentially a scalpel here, but I'm not really seeing these rooks do that much. Like, these rooks need to start jamming out the rattlesnakes or something. Like, reduce the damage. Come on, guys, do something.
So it's interesting that hyena went down completely to light drones. So it looks like something like the Magus, the Pontifex, and maybe Rook drones and maybe Typhoon drones killed it. It wasn't heavy missiles that killed that hyena. But it looks like the rattlesnakes are going for the Typhoon of Eddie Knight, and the 2 Typhoons are shooting the rattlesnakes of Healer. And unfortunately, I don't know if people know this, 3 is higher than 2, and that Typhoon is going down much quicker than the rattlesnake is.
Well, 3 is higher than 2, but 2 is higher than 1, as Test still has both of their Deacons up, where literally Trigger just lost one of their Scalpels. That being said, I think that this is about to be a 3 is bigger than 1 situation. We are very, very good at counting here, and Eddie Knight is dropping into low structure. It's like barely holding on, but I don't think it's going to matter, as he... Okay, well, he's still there, 1%, and he's gone.
A big thing that to say is literally Triggered can lose the entirety of their low end and already be close to being up on points. Their entire low end is worth 25 points because they have 3 rattlesnakes, which are worth 75 points in total and can tank what the rest of that team have. Because if you're talking about applicable damage, it's Magus drones, Magus Pontifex drones, and a single Skybreaker weapon that is never in a million years going to break a rattlesnake if this final Typhoon goes down.
Oh, yeah, okay, hold on. You're just counting the Deacon drone? It could have 1 single light drone,
It
which is
has
very,
a
very
light
powerful.
rep drone
Ah,
because it
dang
gets
it.
a
All right.
bonus.
I thought Test had this great plan here for DPS Logi, but it does look like Test is actually doing a little bit of damage to Gila Kashada's Rattlesnake. I don't know if they're going to be able to take it down. The Rook is now finally getting targeted, which probably means the jams were successful. But literally Triggered, the Rattlesnakes are so obnoxious to deal with. Rook dropping almost instantly, just because these rattlesnakes are using heavy drones, and that is a significant amount of the damage. You can't really jam it out, and even if they hit reload, they're still applying 600-700 DPS, which I don't know. Rattlesnake's a pretty good ship. It seems to be working pretty well against these typhoons.
Yeah, rattlesnakes are the king of battleship versus battleship fights because unless you're picking something like a Vindicator, which has close range damage, in terms of these shield missile types of ships, the Battlesnake has heavy drone bonus for damage. It has a huge amount of damage it can do for heavy drones. It has Caldari bonuses to battleship resistance, so it has a 20% shield resist, so it's tankier, and it has a flat missile bonus. So in terms of these rapid heavies, it doesn't like a normal Typhoon, which has a rate of fire bonus, it doesn't go through its clip faster. It just has a flat damage bonus and can outlast you with its clip. So in terms of shield battleships versus shield battleships, the Rattlesnake reigns supreme, which is why the Rattlesnake is 25 points compared to the 21 points of the Fleet Typhoon. Those bonuses are that powerful.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Like maybe if they had gone after a Rattlesnake right off the bat, because it did look like they were breaking through them pretty easily there. Maybe a little bit of better usage of the Rook, a little bit of better damage setting, not going after that Hyena with all their light drones, like because they have full set of light drones on that Rattlesnake, and it's kind of still taking a little bit of damage here. But
You
I don't know, like. There's a chance. There's a chance, man.
You also saw how quickly the light drones of the Magus and the Pontifex broke through those two scalpels. So if they'd have focused on the scalpels and the Fleet Typhoons would have shot the Rattlesnakes, if the Rook had managed to land a lucky jab on, say, one of the Rattlesnakes and stop them applying damage to the Fleet Typhoon, Test Alliance, please ignore, could have won this. They could have mitigated enough damage that they would have traded faster. And hey, maybe there's one Rattlesnake left, and you in structure, and you lose your last Typhoon. But at that point, your better low end carries the game out.
Well, and look how hard it is for literally Trigger to actually kill anything at this point. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, three Rattlesnakes in the Northwest, but they're, obviously they're breaking through things, but they're not doing it particularly quickly. It's, they had an opportunity here, I think, tested, and I'm sure we'll totally talk about it in a positive and non-punching bag way up in the near future as this match is winding to a close. But I don't know, like it's unfortunate. We really haven't seen Fleet Typhoons being that good either recently, so maybe that was another problem.
We have seen them be good in a kitey situation, where the Fleet Typhoons are fleeing, abusing the fact that they're a little bit faster than other shield battleships. Unfortunately, they were against Rattlesnakes, which have like about the same range, and they couldn't have really done anything because drones would have chased them down. Maybe if they'd pulled the ships out of range of the Rattlesnake, the one that was getting shot, they could have been useful for this. And I'm really upset that we see Test Alliance bring a full 10 people and then go against someone who thinks, oh, literally Triggered looks at Test's previous matches and go, oh, they tend to favor a lot of battleships. Test in their previous matches have just brought battleship heavy comps. Why don't we bring the shield version of a Vindicator rush? We just bring 3 battleships that do a lot of damage and dumpster their battleships, since Test don't seem to be bringing smaller stuff. And unfortunately, literally Triggered just like outplayed them in the meta sense of they knew what chips Test would bring, and they pre-picked to fight that. That being said, we've just saw Saldarius hit the micro jump beacon and jump out to 211, which is not the record for the maximum distance, but is a fairly decent distance.
Yeah, it's not bad. 215 according to General Stargazer, and he is in charge of everything and the end-all be-all authority on stuff. I don't think Malcolm is going to be able to get to a MJD beacon before he goes down, and he does drop, so literally Triggered wins 99 points to, or 100 points to 17, and proves that the ultimate counter is to bring undermanned setups versus Test Alliance, and I think we're going to send it back to ourselves here in just a little bit.